Hey everybody, it's SmirkSmileGrin here, coming at you with another tutorial. I'm in Skyreach right now. I have 6 minutes left on my food. Let's try and do this quick. So, I'm going to show you roughly what we're going to be talking about really fast. So I can move faster. So slow. Should probably put some type of like movement speed in the bar. Oh well, really already started. Alright. So, what we're going to be talking about is a Syphon build. A lot of you guys probably have already seen it. If you've already know about Syphon builds, and you're familiar with this one, then just enjoy it on a all single full Skyreach run. There it is. Try not to kill as many as possible. And I don't know if they reset or not, but you want to get a good amount of them. Normally you stop back there and you kill half because it gets overwhelming. But with this build, it doesn't matter. More the merrier. Let's do it. Okay. Almost there. So Skyreach, it's a great power level location. Usually you have to find some high level who is strong enough to clear it for you and then drag you along. A lot of people pay people to do it. I don't know a lot of low levels that have a build like this, but this is in some of the harder dungeons. Oh, this is the gear right now. Again, no hands. So I'm not like hacking or anything like that, or clicking and spamming Syphon. Usually like 3 of these mobs would kill somebody. I mean, there's like probably like 100 here. But I have 4 minutes on my food, and you can kind of see where we're heading, and they won't stop pushing me and fear me. So let's end this and start killing some things. Get off me. I know like one of these freaking mobs that would just kill certain people. It's funny. They're like all of them. It's not a matter about how fast I can do it, because I am a tank, but they are gonna die. The fears are unreal. Get off me. Just die. I'm not worried about dying right now. There's just so many. Crap. Just gonna keep that sword. Woo! There's so many stacked. That was close. All those freaking stacks right there almost killed me. As you can see, the more the better, because now I'm not healing as much. But I still will heal without casting anything. Just the armor just healing me. Alright, let's finish this off. Food bill's almost gone. coming from? I just feel like they just keep coming. Out of here. This stuff is down there. See if they'll let me leave. Might actually kill it all. Oh, good. Alright, I'm gonna go to my house. What's up, guys? So the sets I'm rolling with are gonna be 3 different Syphon sets. There's not a lot of Syphon sets, so you could probably guess what they are if you are familiar with Syphon sets. And my character is a Nightblade, Khajiit, just because he was an archer. You don't have to be Khajiit. It's definitely not the best option. I believe the Argonians have increased the healing, so we probably give you another 5 or 10% more siphoning. So Argonian is definitely a better option for a pure Syphon build. But my helmet is Malabeth. Gives you health. I went with a tri-stat enchant just to give me more damage, and I was going PvP, so I have a whole lot of tri-stats. But Malabeth is when you take damage, you link to the target who deals damage to you, and then you're going to then create a beam in between you. You can break the beam by moving too far away, but if they stay close, you're going to gain 30% more healing to you, and the beam is going to heal you for 6,732. Leeching, those green clouds. I don't know if you were paying attention to the green cloud, and how many mobs are there is how many it's hitting. So if there's 50 mobs there, you're hitting all 50 of them in that cloud for 1,464 damage over 5 seconds. Oh, actually, it's every second for 5 seconds, so it's even greater. So it's just healing for a massive amount. So it's essentially, if there's 50 mobs there, you're healing for over 50,000, 60,000 plus every second. So the more mobs around you, the better. And then you have increased healing to you. And you're going to be healing for more than that if you're spec'd into poison for your champion points. Or wearing heavy armor if you're Argonian. If Malbeth is procced, now you have another 30% increase. It's all these increases. And then the final set would be Baraz. And it's similar to that, but it's less. It's 986 damage every second. And it's going to be that blue glyph. I don't know if you were paying attention. There's a blue glyph that appears on the ground. And then that's when you deal damage, it's going to create that. So you're going to be dealing damage like that, creating that blue glyph. Otherwise, the leeching armor when you get hit is going to deal the damage, or just casting any spell, or with Malbeth procs. All these things could deal damage. You could just sit there, and leeching armor is going to freaking proc your Baraz, and then it's just going to be 2 AoE glyphs in the ground that are healing you for hundreds of thousands of hit points a second. So you could just go a pure hit point character, and the highest I've gotten my tank, you can see my gear. I think I've got him to 80,000 or 85,000 self buff or something like that. So it was crazy high. But doing Plague Doctor, And where was it? I can't remember anymore. What was the other hit point set? I don't remember the name of it. Anyways, I've gotten them pretty high. So you go like hit points and then just drain life, or you could just go and build mostly damage and do what I did. Like, this is 30,000 hit points unbuffed. My Fuba just wore off. And then I can boost my resist even higher. So I actually normally tank lately with dual wield and a two-hander, and I'm just DPSing, and then I taunt with the Undaunted taunt. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, there's a skill line Undaunted. They have Inner Beast, and it's a ranged taunt. So technically, if you're fighting a boss, you don't need a sword and shield. You can range taunt and keep aggro. So you're just you know, DPSing, doing your thing. That's like the worst way to DPS, by the way. But if you were single target DPSing, this is what it would kind of look like.
You're just spring-loaded today, aren't you?
Okay. Guild, Fighters Guild. Let's get some Syphon abilities on here, that way we can heal for more. Let's do this, just in case. Alright. We'll call this our single target. Oh, you know what? We'll get here. We'll get this on our bar too. We'll call this our single target DPS thing. Okay. So, we'll summon some shades.
Ouch.
Drop air trap. Buff ourselves. Bleed the target. Just attack.
This is not what I was built for.
The reason why I would do this as my single target DPS build is because everything you're doing right now is healing you.
Why, I never...
I'll show you in a second what I'm talking about.
Goodbye, Apostle.
Alright, so this Summon Shade, I'm pretty sure I can but it summons the shade and then it causes the target to do 15% less damage, which is great if you're a tank, because now the boss is going to do 15% less damage to you, and this does light damage. You're going to toss this on the boss. Degeneration, it's going to increase your spell power, so technically you don't even need this unless you're dealing with AoE mobs, or you can do without this too. It doesn't really matter which. If you like it, you can keep it on. But this gives you a dot, and it gives you a heal over time, and then it increases your light attacks to that target, and gives them a chance to heal you. So having that on your bar, having that to taunt, that's your execute, and as I have the AoE morph, so it's an AoE execute. It does less damage, but it will AoE an entire group of mobs. And this is like a quick heal that heals you for 30% of your life. And it gives you like a defense buff, so you take less damage. Leeching strikes. So again, if you are gonna build for DPS, probably do axes. That way you can like do the bleed over times on it. Bleed over times are great. So while you're light attacking and buffing your leeching strikes, you can apply those bleeds. Sap essence. If you can drop this off your bar, with the sap essence, if you have the morph I do, it gives you increase the brutality and major sorcery, so it's going to increase your weapon damage and your spell damage by 20%. It's really good. Rearming trap is just amazing versus any type of single target DPS. It's going to do a really good amount of damage, and then it's going to increase all crit damage down by 10%. And then Blood Craze, again another heal. I have the heal morph, so it's going to do damage over time and heal me. Bloodthirst, again another heal. So while I'm a single target stabbing, it's healing me. I'm gonna do way less damage, yeah I get it, but I'm healing for everything I do.
Ouch.
I don't even need the healer on trash mobs. And I don't need him, because technically you don't really need on the boss. You're sitting here tanking the boss, just DPS and doing your thing, healing all the time, and the bosses do weak, shitty light attacks. Okay, the boss is gonna heavy attack. You could block, and then you could, certain bosses will probably either one-shot you or take off most of your life, depending on how much life you have. But you don't have to block as a tank. No one said you can't just roll. Then you just go back in the DPS. And I don't know how many bosses. I don't want to have the healer heal me and then take it off the DPS or trust the healer can sustain me. I just DPS, roll and hold block while I roll in case for some reason there's a lag. And then I just dodge their heavy attack and I take 0 damage and then I go back in the DPSing. You don't have to block attacks. It's probably better you don't block attacks. But that's the build. Again, I'd recommend probably carrying a shield. There's certain bosses that you just have to have a shield on. If you're gonna use a shield, I'll show you real quick what type of abilities you should probably have on your bar. So let me grab my shield out. Paras. So again, I would probably go healing on your weapon and shield. I don't know if you can get it on your shield. Probably Mundus or something on there, or armor. But if you're doing 2 weapons, do the Mundus, or I mean powered, not Mundus. And then you can have Mundus on your armor, or block, or increased armor. And then, alright. You can have like Veladreth if you want to increase your damage. You can have Earth Core. Earth Core is actually probably a really good option as well. Look at that. It's going to heal your whole group for 40,000 damage. And you're the tank. And you're just sitting there. As soon as you get below 50% health, any of your heals, and you have like 10 of them going, is going to trigger Earth Core every 35 seconds. And it's going to heal the whole group. So it's a really solid tank choice. And again, if you don't want to be a selfish tank, you do like Lord Wardens or something like that. It's going to boost the entire group's armor and spell resist by 37. There's a lot of options you can do. You don't have to build Malabeth because you might have too much healing already. So you might want to pick another option. But Troll King is really good when you heal a friendly target. And if they're below 50% health recovery, so that's including yourself. So anytime you're doing Sap Essence, you're healing your allies, so it's gonna trigger Troll King. For points, I just did a broad range, 10, 10, 44, so I can have good health. And magic and stamina a little bit, so I can increase my damage. Going to the ritual again, 10% healing. I have my vampire. Still have poison and a vampire, and you can bat swarm. And vampire has pretty cool passives for tanks, I think. Yeah, it sucks that you are going to take increased fire damage. But your magic and stamina recovery increase reduces damage taken by up to 33%. Based on your missing health while you're below 50%, which is really good for a tank. That sucks. That's like a cripple. But and then this is awesome if you like to go fast stealth. So before I get sidetracked, let me show you the abilities you're gonna want if you're using the sword and shield. So you probably want puncture. I don't have a point for it, and I don't really use it right now. I probably, if I had more points to spend, but I have it spread out too much, I'd probably have puncture on there. But like I said, I'm just gonna use Inner Blast. You could have Well, why am I doing it on this bar? Okay. You want at least 2 siphoning abilities on this bar. Siphoning ult. Again, having that ult there is going to increase the healing done to you by 3% just having it on your bar. Probably the last siphon ability. So just having all 4 of those, again, 12% more increased healing done to you. So you have something like this as your like AoE tanking bar, and then on your back bar you could have your execute, you can have your taunt, you have a cleave. The cleave would be pretty cool because if you use the cleave and then morph it to when you cleave a group of mobs and you get an increased shield per mob you hit, that'd be pretty solid. You get a pretty nice damage shield out of that. But there's so many ways that you can build a siphon tank. You can build a DPS, you can build it actually tanking, and it's all up to you. But I'm gonna let you go. Video's probably already lasted long enough. Oh my god, I forgot to talk about champion points. I hate myself. So quick champion points. Health recovery, it's always good. Mooncalf, Arcanist, Tenacity, that's all really good for your sustain and restore your resources. Of course, you're gonna probably want that. You want block, of course. I don't want tumbling because I was doing PvP, and I was trying to do a certain thing. I'm probably gonna swap back over to block though because I'm gonna need block. But you probably want to max out block to at least 43. You don't need Siphoner. You probably want break free. And that's all in those. Heavy armor. Again, if you're lacking in that resist, 30,000 or 32,000 is the cap. So you want to be as close to the cap as possible, at least with buffs on. I'm really not even close to it, and I still do fine in vets. But some of the harder vets, I mean, I did village vets with the type of resist I had, and I did not have a problem with her. So I was just like, and like she would hit me, and I would roll through her heavy attacks, and stab her some more, and just healing, and it was pretty easy. But especially newer tanks, put on that sword and shield till you get comfortable. Max out your resist to that 32,000. You don't need that. This is good. This is actually really good, the quick recovery, because it's going to increase your healing received through your armor and through all your other abilities. Yeah, it's PvP. You really don't need that. You definitely want Elemental Defender, Hardy. Don't worry about this at all in PvE unless you're going PvP. Spell resist, again, it's just getting you to that resist cap if that's what you need. And then that's always really, really good to have, Ironclad. You don't really need that. You don't really need Thaumaturge. You definitely want Mighty, because Mighty is going to increase your physical damage, but it's also going to increase the amount of damage your leeching armor is doing, so it's going to heal you for even more. Yeah, I guess, but most of my attacks are AoE, but I mean that doesn't hurt. Not great. I would put that in there if you have. So the things I would make sure you max first: Mighty, Elemental Expert. Elemental Expert. This is gonna be the thing that's gonna increase your Balrog's curse damage, so it's gonna make you heal for more. Blessed, so it's gonna increase your healing done, so it's gonna cause your armor and all your abilities to heal you for even more. Don't really worry about that. That's okay, I guess, but that one, and Mighty are your bread and butter, and everybody else you can just put it into wherever you want to customize it. And that is essentially it. Alright, video's probably still too long, but hopefully you guys enjoyed. Please subscribe if you want to check out more videos. I have a lot of other builds, and if you have a request, I have probably one of every gear set, pretty close to it, and I'm working on a werewolf build right now, and I'll release that whenever I finish it, and hopefully it doesn't suck, because I'm gonna probably put some hours into work on that, and I had to just buy a whole nother character slot to get the werewolf character, because I got 9 characters now. Anyways, this is SmirkSmileGrin. Thanks for watching. Hopefully you guys enjoyed, and hopefully I see more leeching tanks or some Nightblade tanks out there. There's just not enough Nightblade tanks, and I think Nightblade tanks are actually really solid. If you haven't checked out my mage tank, I think mage tanks are actually really solid too. I think you just don't see a lot of mage tanks. But alright, thank you. Later.